close my eyes, I can just see the audience that's not really there. I think I'm losing my mind, y'all. Welcome to the Purple LitNerd podcast for December the 9th, 2017. I am your host, the amazingly adorable Rebecca Thistle, podcasting to you live-ish from my kitchen table in my house, which I call Thistledew. So, because I know people are really anal about this, I have to say it. Spoiler alert. Fucking spoiler alert. If you have not read the book, American Gods by Neil Gaiman, you suck. But if you haven't read the book, and you are one of these people that's like super duper anal about like, don't spoil anything for me, stop listening right now. I appreciate the fandom and the extra little number on my statistics, but honestly, stop right now. There are going to be spoilers. Go back, read the book, and then listen. Okay? We're on the same page. As I said last week, I personally am one of these people that I don't care about spoilers. But if you are a person who cares about spoilers, and I know a few people like that, stop listening. Just stop it. Go get the book. It's really fucking good. I'm sure you could get a good deal on it on Amazon. I got it off of Audible. Really good. I'm working from the 10th anniversary edition, so go check it out. Moving right along. So everybody listening right now, we're on the same page. Either you don't care about spoilers, and you're just here because you like the sound of my voice, and the way that I say things, and my adorkability, or you're here because you legitimately have read the book and are interested to hear what we're going to talk about this week. So, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the coin tricks, because this has been like, other than the main character's shadow, this has been the biggest puzzle to me in this book, because I feel like there's a significance to it, and maybe there isn't. I have to acknowledge, I thought there was a better word for it, but I have to acknowledge that everything I say from here on out is purely speculation. This is purely my opinion. This is purely my perception. This is all on me. Neil Gaiman may one day listen to this show, probably never, but if you are listening, hi Neil. And he may email me or call me up, or I don't know, and say, right, you got it all wrong. You're completely fucking wrong. And you know what? I may be. This is just how I have perceived this. I don't think Neil would ever do that, but you never know. You never know. This is all my speculation. Everything including my speculation about my speculation. So, coin tricks. Number one, I feel the significance of these coin tricks is to give Shadow an endearing quality and a sort of social lubricant, because he is described in the beginning of the book, when we meet him in prison, he's described as being big enough and don't fuck with me enough that people generally tend to leave him alone. However, when you've got this big, scary man who does coin tricks, suddenly he's a cuddly teddy bear. He's big and he's scary, but he's a teddy bear. Kind of the comparison that I can make off the top of my head is way back on 2.5 Men, but before Charlie Sheen went crazy, and we'll not get into that, but what is the actor's name? Michael something, I think. Michael Clark Duncan. There we go. Played John Coffey in The Green Mile. Big hulking black man. Oh my gosh. Gorgeous. But he's very intimidating, but his character that he played on 2.5 Men is the father to this teenage girl that Jake is interested in. And So he looks big and scary, but he likes to make things like snickerdoodles and sing in barbershop quartets and drink apple teenies and stuff like that. And so suddenly he's not that scary. He's quite cuddly. So back to American Gods. That's what I think part of the purpose of the coin tricks is that it gives Shadow this cuddly side, this endearing side, this like, oh my gosh, you're a total nerd side. But at the same time, I think it's also very revealing, and I think I'll get into that a little later on in the show. So I've got my listy list here because lists are our friends, okay? So next on my listy list is it moves the narrative along. Like, it kind of frames the narrative, but it also moves it along in a lot of ways. Because we get introduced to him in prison, and one of the very first things that we learn is that he likes to do coin tricks. He found a book in the library in prison about coin tricks, and so that's what he did. So that's one of the first things that we learn about him, other than he's big and scary. And then the whole thing ends with him having done this complete 360 in his character. He's in Iceland, and he comes across the Icelandic, much more OG, original god, Odin. And it ends with him doing a coin toss, tossing a coin in the air, and then he walks away before it hits the ground, and so it sort of ends on a coin trick, and so it furthers the narrative, or it pops up in random spots in the narrative, but I think it gives credence to, kind of the flow of things, because you have, we're introduced to him as being interested in coin tricks, and then he hires on with Wednesday, and he gets into a bar fight with Mad Sweeney, and Mad Sweeney teaches him how to do a coin trick pulling gold coins out of the air, and then that self-same gold coin, side note, self-same just means exact same, okay? Back to what I'm saying. So he gives that self-same gold coin to Laura, which makes her come back from the dead, and then he goes to talk to the Slavic gods in Chicago, and Zoria Palunichnaya. I have such a hard time with those Slavic names. The Midnight Zoria, that's a lot easier. She gives him a silver coin, and so at random points from then on out, until he's hanging off the world tree and has died and runs into the Midnight Zoria again, you see him palming and playing around, quote unquote, playing around with this gold coin. And so you sort of have these coins on the coin tricks as being narrative devices to move things along and kind of help you connect the dots or connect the coins. Follow the money. Oh my gosh, that just came to me. Ooh, we're learning things together, aren't we? But I think the biggest significance, oh my gosh, I'm getting so much better at segues. The biggest significance to the coin tricks, I feel, is this. What are coins? Coins are little pieces of metal with pictures engraved on them, or, whatever, that have value. Who decided what that value is? Humans. Because, you could sit there and say, oh, well, gold has, the value of whatever, like $1,000 an ounce. Let's just say, I'm sure it's more now, but 1 ounce of gold is worth $1,000. Well, who decided that? Who decided that gold was so awesome? Humans, millennia ago, decided that. So that plays into this whole idea about all the gods are real because humans decided that they were real. Humans placed value on gods, and that created them and gave them life. Humans decided coins have value, and so they do. So, let's talk about Laura Moon, Shadow's wife. He goes to her funeral, and he takes that coin that Mad Sweeney gave him, not understanding that it's a magic coin, and he throws it into her grave. This piece of metal, which, by the way, if you know anything about gold is not very strong. It's actually very soft. It's just mostly really shiny and pretty. That's about all the value that gold had, is it is aesthetically pleasing. So, but because humans decided that this had value, and Shadow is at least half human, he throws this into her grave. And since she is the most significant person in his life, ostensibly the only person that he really loves, that value that he placed on her, with the added value of this coin, gave her life again, like helped her rise from the grave. And consequently, also gave her an opportunity for redemption. And that ultimately, I think, was his greatest coin trick. He gave his wife the opportunity to redeem herself, to gain forgiveness from him for cheating on him, and for actually dying while cheating on him. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. So, it's very interesting, and so I think part of the coin tricks is to illustrate Shadow's character, and how he's always trying to perfect a way of doing a coin trick and making people think that the coin is in one hand when it's really in the other hand, or, that he's really got it palmed, but they think it's over there, and they think it's a quarter, but it's really a penny, or vice versa, etc. He's always trying to kind of mind fuck people with these coins, and consequently, he's also trying to mind fuck people with regards to what he holds dear to him, what he holds, what he gives value to. And so I think that's another significance to it. So it's really interesting to think about these coin tricks. And I don't think I will ever fully understand it. As I said in the last episode, I think this is a novel that's probably going to stick with me for years and years and years. And I'm probably going to revisit it again and again and again, trying to figure one thing out or another thing out. And I think one of those things is going to be the coin tricks and Laura's redemption and her value